Howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. We're gonna do a collective reading. And this is Lights Out Tarot. Thank you for all those likes and shares on the videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We're gonna be getting into a live reading. We're gonna be using the Rider-Waite Tarot and a couple oracle cards. And like we do, we'll probably pull a rune. How are you doing? How are you feeling, everybody? Is it time to make a change? You gonna make a change? Is the world changing? I need to change these strings. Okay, let's get into it. It's serious business. Tarot, some serious business. Let's get into it. Let's pull up a seat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna start with a rune. This is a whole bag of runes. Quite a few. Today's date is January 29th, 2023. Already a month through 2023. Just you wait. You and I are going to be 50 years old in just a couple days. And the local time is 9:03 p.m. We're going to try and keep this nice and short. I pulled it sideways, so I'm going to, and there is no reversal for this one. Oh, it's a new one today. This is the rune. Now I'm going to leave it here for you to visualize and go through the book. What is this rune today? It is on the second last row of runes. It's called Disruption. Oh, 129, Disruption. 129. Disruption. It may mean hail. The traditional meanings are hail, sleet, natural forces that damage. So there may be some sort of natural occurrences that are going to be happening that could cause some disruptions to the world around you. Now it's spelled Hagalaz. Hagalaz. That's what this rune is here. We're just going to read from the book. I'm learning as you are. This is the Book of Runes by Ralph H. Blum. I believe this is the 20th anniversary or 25th. It's been around for some time. If you want to find this, you can get this on the internet. Now it says here, disruption, elemental power, hail. Hagalaz, it's the 19th rune in the sequence that he's placed them. It says change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need with the psyche to break free from constricting identification with material reality and to experience the world of the archetypal mind. The rune of elemental disruption, of events that seem to be totally beyond your control. Hagalaz has only an upright position. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't think it matters at this point. And yet it always operates through reversal. So this rune only has an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption, for it is the great awakener. Although the form the awakening takes may vary, perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you were emerging from a deep sleep. Then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships or beliefs. Disruption takes many forms. A relationship fails, plans go awry, a source of supply dries up. But do not be dismayed. Whether you created the disruption or whether it comes from an outside source, you are not without power in this situation. Your inner strength, the will you have funded until now in your life, provides support and guidance at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. Another of the cycle runes, the term radical discontinuity, best describes the action of Hagalaz. At its most forceful, the more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you do, indeed, grow. So that's what this rune is. This is the rune of disruption. But with disruption, it creates change, and I was talking about that. Are we making a change? Is there a change in the world happening? I'm going to leave this rune out. Put it somewhere for you to see. Oh my goodness. I need a bigger table or a different setup soon. We'll work on that. Change. We need some change. We gotta disrupt the flow sometimes. Okay, I wonder what this tarot reading is gonna be about. I see death, Two of Swords. You might be blind to a situation that's coming to a head at this point, or you might feel blind, like you have two paths to choose from. Oh, we're chilling. I'm kicked back, my feet are up. I just ate a whole bunch of food. And I'll go make tea in a bit. Usually I like to have tea with my readings, but I just got in the house and I just turned on the live stream and I went for it. Ooh. Feeling that disruption. What is this disruption? 10 of Pentacles. Sometimes it can be a good thing too, right? Like maybe you've been stuck going to work 9 to 5 for 16 years and then you just have a random disruption. Could mean hail. Could mean a storm is brewing. I don't know. Try not to care too much. Care enough, but not too much. Alright, what do we need to know? This is a collective reading, all signs. This is a timeless reading. When you get this, it's meant for you. If it doesn't resonate, don't try and make it fit. This is not legal or medical advice. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, the information for that is in the description box. If you'd like a private reading, the information for that is in the description box. And I've started a donations kind of link. There's a donation link to help fund a GoPro if you'd like to help get a new setup so we can live stream wherever we go. I think I can use the data on my phone and then live stream with a GoPro? That would be cool. Okay, what do we need to know? A couple cards, whatever flows. We're gonna read it. That's the first one. What is it? Judgment in reverse. Is there a disruption towards a judgment being made, or was there? Oh, or was there a disruption? Just like that card fell on the ground, which was Seven of Swords. Somebody thought they were sneaky and getting away with putting you in a unfavorable light. The Wheel of Fortune is here. This might be a disruption to them. So this judgment in reverse is not a good sign for somebody. I'm seeing this person is now in the Five of Pentacles because of their slandering, their Seven of Swords, their conniving, shady business. Somebody was trying to steal from you. Judgment in reverse. What's next for this collective read? Yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, I just went out into the town. I just started picking up garbage on the street and just throwing it in the garbage. Taking it off the street, putting it where it belongs. You know, and it didn't feel as good as I thought it'd feel. I was just kind of getting frustrated. I was picking up garbage. It was like it was a never-ending thing. It's like no matter how much garbage or corruption we try and clean up, it just keeps being produced. And then there's just endless amount of people that just add to it. It was just kind of gross and disgusting. I didn't really feel like I was doing what I thought I'd do, but you know, it's a good deed for myself and for the world, at least. And I was like, yeah. I felt best when I was picking up the garbage by the trees, because the trees do a lot for us. Oh, we got two cards here. Okay, so we started with Judgment in reverse. I'm going to flip that one. Eight of Cups. Now what I'm seeing is this Judgment that was in the reverse. If this was for you, it put you in a position where you felt like you had to walk away from things that you were emotionally invested in, but it wasn't fulfilling you, or that's because somebody did that to you, put you in that position. But Eight of Cups, you're moving on. You have to leave some stuff behind. You may have been attached to them, but it just wasn't cutting it for you. You had to set out on a new journey. It might be under the cover of night. It might have been a couple moon cycles. This could have been 8 moon cycles that you've been going through this change. Could have been 8 moon cycles ago this negative judgment was cast upon you, where you were actually cast out. Maybe you were a castaway, sent out into the world to fend for yourself after somebody negatively casted judgment upon you. Now, if this is in the other sense, like somebody else, this could be a judgment that somebody made about you that wasn't true, but it was being trumpeted out there. It was like very loud. People were like screaming it and shouting it, and could have been a public thing. This could have been put on social media or the newspaper or a bunch of stuff. Maybe people just saw it and started gossiping about it. But it left you in a position where you had to create change. It could have been a disruption to your flow. Now, Eight of Cups, moving on, climbing up a hill. It's an uphill journey. You're not going downhill. It's always faster going downhill. It's going to be a little slow. There's Eight of Cups to get to your Ten of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Now, I'm seeing this judgment could have been coming from an emperor, or this judgment's being made about an emperor. So emperor is like Aries or Taurus generally, so it could be something to do with those signs. It could just mean like a CEO, a boss, or a political figure, maybe. Someone in a higher position of authority. Somebody that had everything that they needed. It's all the kings. That's what the emperor is. So now with this judgment in reverse, walking away, you could have been walking away while this emperor was holding this negative judgment over you, but everything, it goes back to sender eventually. Whatever energy you put out, you get back. Which is, that's a hard crown to wear if you're always hurting people. Eventually, they say, like, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So if you're going out there and you're shooting people and you're killing people, that's most likely how you're going to die. But if you don't kill anyone, but you get shot and you still live, you probably live a long life. I know somebody in my family that happened to long ago. World War I. long ago. I don't think he shot anyone. I really don't think he shot anybody. But he got shot quite a few times. And then when you get shot, you can't really stay in the war if you make it to a medic. Like, you could stay in there and lie about how you got shot, but you're probably going to start yelling, I got shot! And then somebody's going to come get you and then take you out of there. So, I'm seeing with this negative judgment in reverse and the rune that we pulled, which was disruption, somebody could have been raining on your parade. They could have been, maybe you were hailed before, but now you're not. Now that's just like a disruption. Somebody caused a disruption in your life. This could have been maybe you cast a negative judgment on somebody as well. That could very well have happened. And then you had to walk away from these people. Could be 8 people, could be a community of people. Now, 8 of Cups could just be 8 years, maybe. 8 years of a journey, like you spent 8 years putting into something and you still have to walk away from it. Wow, that's a long time. And then the Emperor. Emperor's in reverse. This is someone that abuses their authority. This is someone that is overly dominant and domineering. So if this was the person that was casting the judgment on you, it looks like they're going to have the same results. Like, we haven't clarified it, but that's just how I'm feeling as I look at it. Could be an Aries, could be a Taurus. Now, this Emperor with them in the reverse, they don't have control as well. That's why they're being overly controlling. They could have been losing their power and their control as it was going on. But now their throne is upside down. Maybe they're losing what they had owned before. This could be them now having to walk away after they cast a negative judgment about you. Because judgment's in the reverse. There's a judgment being made, though. It might not be an accurate judgment, though. Let's get a couple more cards out here. Thank you for watching, everybody. We got a couple people in the live stream so far. If you want to hit that like button, that would be really cool. It takes very little effort to hit that like button. Would really appreciate it. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel to catch more of the content, I try and post daily, if not every 2 days. And then, again, if you like the way I read, maybe you like my voice, or you just want to spend some time with each other, you can pay for that. I do have a service where we can talk virtually, and you can email me. There's an email in the description box of the video. It's lonelycompanymedia@gmail.com. Now, if you send me an email, we can also, I'd say, send me your time zone so we can connect on the same timeline. And then I caught it before it fell down. You might just be catching something. Somebody or you could just be catching something in time. Chariot in reverse, Hangman in reverse. Every card on here is a reversal except for one. Every card is a reversal except for the 8 of Cups. Some's being disrupted. If you go back to the beginning of the rune portion of the video and listen to that, something's been disrupted. Now, this disruption has been caused by a negative judgment or a judgment in the reverse, something that wasn't justified, or maybe it was over the top. Maybe people were casting judgments upon you, or you were doing this to someone else. Take it how it fits. This could be everybody doing this, because this is a collective read, which has caused it caused a journey. And when I'm seeing this 8 of Cups, I'm hearing the song Exodus. I listen to a lot of reggae. Movement of Ja people. There's been a few stories where like people get like they go spend 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, or they get cast out of a city, or well, you're Jewish people and then in Germany they didn't like you, or you're black people and you're in the South and they don't like you, or you're white people and you're in Africa and they don't like you. There's always somebody that's not liked somewhere. I haven't found one place in this world where everybody's like chill with each other 100%. But that's what I'm hearing with this Eight of Cups. Exodus, you may have had to move on. Maybe you've had to travel quite a bit. And it's been an arduous journey. It's been very tiresome. Like you're walking. You might not even have a vehicle at this time. Like that's how you've been feeling. Like you've just been a cast out. Like all these things that you put your love and effort into, it could have been up to 8 years. You're just like, well, what can I do? I can't even keep contributing to that because of the judgment that was made. But then we got an emperor in reverse. Now this emperor could have been the one that was overseeing everything. He's at the center. He's the one that could have been giving you problems with your vehicle with the chariot in reverse. This Aries or Taurus energy or both. Fire sign even. This person, it's a masculine on the card, but it could be a female still in their masculine energy. We do have lesbian couples out there, and one of them wears the pants usually in the relationship. So this would be the person that wears the pants in a lesbian relationship, if you were to look at it that way. Or just like sometimes they call women butch, or like tom girls. It's when you present more masculine than feminine. I'm not trying to like label anybody, but there's a bunch of names out there if you want to. So the Emperor in reverse. Now I'm seeing this guy or girl, but I'm seeing on the picture it's a guy. This person, um, they're very defensive. They're guarded. They're wearing a full suit of armor while clothed in red. So they may be soaked in other people's blood. Like maybe that's how they got to the top was by like like I said, live by the sword, die by a sword. Maybe there was somebody that lived um, to like put other people down or get rid of them so that he could climb or she could climb to the top. And it's also somebody that is just overly dominant, doesn't have their masculine is more present than their feminine, and it's not balanced. They're definitely overly exerting their force into the world and trying to like overly manifest. And this is the person that could have been casting that negative judgment, which caused you to walk away. Crazy. Or this is now someone who was an emperor in the past. Because of this negative judgment, they've had to walk away, and it's caused them to be in a emperor reverse. Maybe they feel like they have to defend themselves instead of just sitting in their throne. That's very likely as well. Now with the chariot in reverse, that's disruption. And we talked about that with the rune. If you go back to the beginning of the video, the rune portion talks about disruption. Now, a chariot in reverse, I'm seeing there's a lack of duality, a lack of balance, because there's a black and white sphinx. Um, the man's in a chariot, so he's supposed to be getting pulled somewhere, but if it's in reverse, you're either going backwards or you need to go to the mechanic kind of thing. Like the chariot might not even be there. The way to move forward might not be present at the moment. And then hangman in reverse. Now, it kind of looks like somebody's doing like, I forget what kind of, it's like a jig. If you look at it this way, it kind of looks like they're doing like a river dance. That's what it's called. When they like cross their legs and they start kicking their legs out and doing like a river dance. So that might be significant. Might be somebody that knows how to do a river dance is attached to this reading. But the hangman in reverse, it's like either you've come to an epiphany and you don't have to wait around and hang around anymore, or you're full of it. You might just be full of it. Like you actually need to get in the upright and spend some time and hang out. Not you necessarily, but I'm talking to the card now. If the hangman's in reverse, it might mean like all the blood got to their head and they didn't actually come to a solution, and now they think they're like some sort of Jesus or something. Like, yeah, you might have some really good powers of manifesting, but this person might think like they're the be all end all, and they might be celebrating themselves, but they're not moving forward. The hangman's not in the upright, and the chariot's not in the upright, and also when I see four of these cards in the reverse, I'm thinking this isn't your energy, collective. I'm thinking this is what they've the it is part of the collective, but it isn't the collective as in the listener listening, because this is an energy that's present in the world. What I'm seeing is that all the reversal cards are the external energies that have been projected towards you, or you have been having to clear your mind and get a more positive outlook, because all of the negativity in the world around you could be coming at you because of your own negative mindset. Whew. Okay, so this judgment in reverse. Now, if this judgment's in reverse, either there's not going to be a resolution in the next 24 to 48 hours that you can see of, or there's going to be a negative judgment being cast, and it's going to cause you, the listener potentially, because it's the only upright card, to have to move forward regardless of the situation, and your emotions can't be involved. Like, you're going to have to leave your emotions at the door, and you're just going to have to say, okay, well, I'm moving forward then, with or without you. With or without you. That's all I know of that song. Eight of Cups, it could be 8 years that you were investing into something and you were like really were putting like a lot of effort into it. But what I'm seeing is because you walk away, or if you choose to walk away, it's your choice. If you choose to walk away, whoever is this overly assertive masculine energy that was once an emperor or somebody that had a position of power and thought that they were top G, what do they call that guy, top G? Whoever thought that they had authority over you is realizing that really all they did was create blockages for themselves because they tried to overly exert force into your life and you simply just walk away. Because you're not here to argue, you're not here to fight. You'll let the moon's in the Eight of Cups, you'll let the moon see your disappointment. And the moon will make a judgment. And it's rather quickly. The moon goes through its cycles quickly, and somebody could be going through a rough moon cycle after you just walk away. You might just choose to say, okay, you'll take the negative judgment. You probably won't argue the fact. Like maybe you will later on the road when you find your other two cups. But it looks like you're just going to be moving forward. And I'm seeing the person that was casting these judgments upon you, this Emperor in reverse, could be an Aries, could be a Taurus, man or feminine, but an Emperor on the card is a masculine, so it's probably closer to being a masculine. Like this could be a judge, but it's not really a judge card. It's all the kings. So it's somebody that's like in a business executive, presidential role, somebody that has authority and power and land and money and women and or men, depending. But it's somebody that is at the top and they're in reverse now and they're casting judgment. So, because they've casted a negative judgment, that's going to be returned to them with blocked cycles because there's somebody above everybody else. There's always someone that pays someone else's bills, right? Somebody writes the checks. And if you write your own checks, God is writing your checks. There's somebody that made you. There's somebody that's definitely controlling the weather and the animals and there's a programmer. There's a master programmer. Now this programmer is obviously upset with one of its creations trying to break its creation by casting a negative judgment. So the person that's in the position of being usually in a position of authority is now going to be in over their head. They could be hung. I'm seeing that with the hangman as well in reverse. They could be hung against their will. And that's, now I'm going back. They used to do public hangings. If that gets reinstated, this person might be subject to a public hanging. I don't want to wish ill will on anyone, but yeah, because they've tried to subject their will over not only you, most likely, it could be 8 other people, but you're the only one that they couldn't capture. And because you walked away and you journeyed away and the moon saw it, what happens in the dark comes to light. They're now going to have a disruption and an imbalance in their movements. They could be getting monitored. There could be a tracker on their vehicle. Or they could be getting, I'm also seeing with the chariot and the two sphinxes on top, they could get pulled over by the police. And then while they're being pulled over by the police, they think that they're this hangman in reverse, this enlightened one. And while they're getting pulled over, they're going to be like, no, you can't do anything to me. But their arms are behind their back. They're going to say, put your arms behind your back. And then they might be put to the ground and then subdued. That's what I'm seeing. And then they could be put in a position where they're stuck in hangman, where they can't get out of it. Let's pull a couple clarifiers. Hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Lights Out Tarot. If this is your first time in here, nice to see you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're unable to donate to the channel, you could donate by hitting that like button, and that is supporting the channel. Really cool when you guys do that. We're gonna get a couple clarifiers. What is this judgment in reverse? What is this negative judgment or false judgment that was given or created? Eight of Swords. Somebody wanted to bind you. Somebody wanted you to be confused and lost and outcasted. Look at that. This person in Eight of Swords is just out in the streets, out in the sheets. That's all they got is a sheet on them, and then they're tied up like almost bound with their arms behind them and blind and trapped by short swords around them, and they're in a swamp. Now that doesn't look like a very comfortable position. I don't know if I'm that great of an investigator yet to help you find where your husband's antique pistol is. I'm just reading the comments. That's kind of a unique comment. Really cool. Yeah, why handcuffed? I'm seeing somebody handcuffed because they might be getting pulled over either for their vehicle needing maintenance or because they were doing something inappropriate in their vehicle. And that with the hangman in reverse, you can see that they're standing upright, but they might have to go through a sobriety test. Like, look how lit they are. Like, maybe they're so drunk that it's like coming off their face, like they could be red and flushed. And he doesn't look happy. He really doesn't look happy. It's hard to give you a clear picture, but that's not a smile. That's a straight face. So, with the arms behind their back, somebody could be drunk and like stumbling and tried to do like the river dance, but then maybe they tried to make the officers laugh, but they're gonna be arrested potentially because of this chariot in reverse. I'm seeing these could be the red and blue lights on the top there, and then the officer underneath being kind of upset. They may even need an ambulance to test them, make sure they're okay. And this is an Emperor in reverse that's getting in that situation because they called a negative judgment on you. They could have tried to take your vehicle away or affect your vehicle. This is what they wanted to do to you. This is the intention behind that judgment in reverse. They wanted you to be bound and blind, and maybe like you didn't have control over your future, but you're someone that can walk by faith. Like, if you were to get out of this situation, you'd have to walk by faith because you can't see and you can't remove the bandage from your eyes because your arms are bound. So how would you be able to move without seeing? You'd have to walk by faith. So they put you in a position because of this negative judgment. They put a lot of burdens on you. Because of this negative judgment, you've had to walk by faith. You had no other option. And then moving after that is the Eight of Cups. Let's get a clarifier for the Eight of Cups. So I'll see what I can do about that antique pistol, whatever that was, that comment. I'll see if I can give you an answer or something about that later. I mean, you could always privately email me, and then I might need more information than just asking me the question, where is it? Like, it's 2 states away. It's in a different country. Like, I can't just... That was like 6 cards, so I'm not pulling all those out for Eight of Cups. I need to have a little bit more clarity. Eight of Cups is 2 cards here. That's a little bit easier to read. So the Eight of Cups is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. So we got 88. 88. What is the meaning of 88? We're going to pull that up on the phone. It's an angel number of some sort. What is the spiritual meaning of the number 88?
I found this on the web.
Oh, sometimes it says it. It's a spiritual number since it's a powerful number and assigned to embrace your spiritual side. And we just talked about that, walking by faith. So 88, embracing your spirit. You may not have known where you're going with this Eight of Cups because you've had to leave something behind. This could have been like an 8-year journey that you had behind you, something that you invested 8 years of your time into. But you've had to move on, and it looks like an uphill battle, an uphill climb. And you don't really know where you're going because the moon's out, it's kind of dark. And you see how you're wearing the red as well? So you've come unbound. Somebody's given you some sort of freedom, or spirit has. But it's clarified by the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So you have been focusing on your craft. Whatever you're good at, you've been just getting better at it. This is generally a sign of like hard work pays off. You've just been working very long. This could also be that you have been saving up. You've been storing some money and creating your own wealth. And then the Queen of Pentacles, because you've walked away and you embrace the feminine aspect, because with the Eight of Swords, this is a feminine. That's what they wanted you in. And they thought that you having to embrace your feminine side was somehow a weakness. But you're like, whatever, I'm just going to walk away. And then you worked on stuff. Like you could have been certified, you could have been studying, you could have been getting different jobs that you don't normally do. And because of that, it's created internal wealth in your feminine. So you have created internal value. You might not have the money present. Like you'll probably have some sort of money around you, but you might not have the money available to just like go do everything that you want and buy everything. You've created a wealth that's for yourself. Like, see how he's crafting these pentacles? He's making them. Now that you've made the money, you could be making the skills that are making the money. So now you have all the skills. Your feminine side has increased in value because you've embraced faith and spirituality. Now, if you were the King of Pentacles, I could see that you actually went out and you got jobs and you generated money and revenue, and then you made a kingdom. And now you're able to like welcome in a queen, because in the past a king would have to feed the whole everybody. In some cultures still, if you marry someone, it's an obligation for you to pay for your wife. In some cultures and religions. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is clarifying that your spiritual feminine side of yourself has increased in value because you put in the hard work to dedicate yourself to skills and getting like certifications or just educating yourself or practice. Okay? And 88. Those are the numbers. And actually, we got 3 8s on the table. Okay? 8 of Swords. Now I'm getting a little excited. 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups, and then 8 of Pentacles. Right? They thought putting you in the 8 of Swords was going to be negative by casting a negative judgment on you. Maybe they stole your whatever, stole some stuff from you, whatever. They put you in the 8 of Swords. And then you're like, whatever, I'm just going to walk away. And I'm going to go get what I need to get. And you can take whatever you want, but I'll go get more and get better. 8. And then you upgraded you left the emotions and you went towards the financial kind of stability material. So you went from faith to matter. You produced results without having anything. You produced results with your arms behind your back. With your arms tied and being blind, you manifested, and that's a real shocker for this emperor. That's a real shocker for this emperor in reverse, because they used to be this. That's a real shocker. So you had your arms tied behind your back, you went on a journey, and then started developing. And now, what is this emperor in reverse clarified by? Willie. You're funny, Willie. I don't know what Night Ranger is. Maybe Night Ranger's like your video game name. Hey, everybody in the chat, welcome. What is this emperor in reverse? Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If you want a private reading, it is in the description box below how to do that. And if you want to donate, you can do that. I saw the Justice card there. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups again. Oh. What is this Emperor in reverse? Why is the Emperor in reverse? Can we get a clarifier for the Emperor in reverse? Another 2 cards to clarify. The Moon and 2 of Pentacles. So this Emperor in reverse is either in a position where now the Moon is casting, like I said, the Moon was going to be casting judgment earlier. And now with the Moon underneath the Emperor, the Moon has made its decision. The Emperor now has to be either an entertainer, a performer, or like a jester. He's being demoted to like the lowest form. He's going to be the one that has to entertain the kings. So like the Emperor is above all the kings, but the jester, the 2 of Pentacles, the circus performer, the one, he might get shipped around the seas and displayed like an animal in a cage. I'm seeing that because the moon saw everything. The animals, nature, the environment, they all witnessed what happened and who abused their authority. And this is like a very angry looking moon face. That's not a happy looking moon. So this person could be cast from their mighty towers into the land with the animals and on the same plane as the animals. And now he has to juggle. Either he's juggling his finances now because he's down at the 2, or he has become the jester and the one that puts on the king's shoes. He's the one that goes down there and polishes them and then says a little joke and gets a little coin. So the Emperor in reverse, it could be a feminine, could be a masculine, but this was a person that was like a top dog, top G, CEO, president, yeah, creator of some sort. He was a top person. Aries, Taurus. It's fire sign energy though, most likely. This person now has to go juggle. It could be that they have 2 different places they need to juggle from. Or the moon is still juggling the decision of how to handle this person. So that's how I'm reading it. At this point, moon is 18, 2 of Pentacles, so 20, technically. 18 is another 8, so we got 4 8s. The Emperor is 4, so 4 plus 18 is 22, plus 2 is 24. 2 times 4 is 8. This is also a figure 8, like that's the infinite sign. That's also an 8. So 8's very significant in this reading. What is this Chariot in reverse? What is this Chariot in reverse? Chariot in reverse. As one thing goes up, another thing must come down. Not everyone's gonna be at the top of their game all the time. I don't know what you guys are. Some of the comments in the section there. I'm not. This doesn't look like a bad reading for the collective. It looks like more of like a cautionary tale to those that want to abuse their positions of authority or cast judgments negatively on people. Oh, what the heck? I'm scratching my head as I look at the card. Ten of Swords, but in the reverse. And then the Tower, but in reverse. So this Emperor may be able to avoid a Tower. Tower's happening anyways, though. Chariot in reverse, clarified by the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, you were in the Eight of Swords. Because of this negative judgment that was cast upon you, whenever it was cast upon you, it put you in an Eight of Swords, blind, confused, tied up, don't know what to do, don't know where to go. You're going to have to walk by faith. So then you move on with the Eight of Swords, you go to the Eight of Cups, and you take whatever emotions that you can, and then you leave the rest. You say, yeah, okay, I'm going to bring courage, I'm going to bring this, I'm going to bring that, I'm going to leave these ones here. And then you move on to the Eight of Pentacles and you just work on stuff, work on stuff, work on stuff. You just stay focused. You try and get your head out of the Eight of Swords. And then you nurture yourself. You become a Queen of Pentacles energy. So you're feminine, your internal worth and value increases. That causes the Emperor to now have the moon cycles go against him and cause him to either juggle his situation or juggle or become the jester, like I said. So be demoted. And then movement, chariot, movement, the chariot, balance dualities. It's in reverse, so there's no movement. There's lack of movement or lack of progression. But it's clarified by the Nine of Swords. So either this lack of movement in the situation has caused all of the people to go through Nine of Swords and grieve and say prayers and like stay up late at night and try and figure out a plan, like just lots of thoughts going in their mind, not able to sleep in their bed. But with it in the reverse, they're going to fall out of bed. So this is either if they took your vehicle or affected your vehicle in any way, or transportation in general. It was a positive thing in the sense of it got you out of bed. So maybe because you had no vehicle, you had to walk more, and then you avoided a tower potentially as well, because if you did have a vehicle, you may have moved, and that would have actually looked bad for you for some reason because of the judgment that was cast upon you. Maybe if you left, you would have been like brought back, and they would have been like, why are you leaving? You're not supposed to leave. People are mad at you, or something weird like that. But you just walked. So you couldn't really get too far. So you just kind of walked to your destinations of where you need to go, maybe public transit. All the while, the Emperor that was overseeing all of this is now, over the moon cycles, being found out to be having juggled you or juggled the situation, or is now being laughed at and becoming a jester. It's Nine of Swords. Now, Tower in reverse, there's still a crown that's not on this tower. But the peasants, or the people, they're jumping for joy. In the reverse, they're dancing, they're jumping, they're making funky moves. They're dancing in the clouds. It looks like they're reaching for the heavens while the crown is falling off. Now, this could mean that this person's potentially impotent, having some impotency, because if you look at that, that crown could be the tip of something, and that tower could be a shaft. And with the electricity, that might be a little spark of life, you know? Not a lot of people see the tower as this, but this is also a phallic symbol. So you see, this could be somebody is impotent or having issues in their bed. They could be having bed problems, and that's what's keeping them in the Nine of Swords. Like Nine of Swords in reverse, it could mean that they're stuck in Nine of Swords and they aren't able to get out of it until they get in the upright and actually process what they're going through and then move out of it. To some people, it's, oh, Nine of Swords in reverse, I'm out of bed, I'm out of depression. So, yeah, I'm reading your comments. And with the Tower in reverse, it's 16 upright, but it's 19 in reverse. And then 6, yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit of a 69. I'm seeing that. Yeah, this is sexual. That's what I just said 69. It's sexual in some sense. This person may have been found to cast a negative judgment on you because they were actually involved romantically with a person that had some sort of beef with you. Could be that. Or this person that they were romantically involved with is now upset at them because they're staying in their head too much and they're impotent. Staying up here and not getting it. They're getting all the bloods going up here, but not down there. And you see that with the hangman. All the bloods go into their head, but not down there. They're crossed. And that's a defensive pose. Like you don't, that doesn't look like you're very open to things when you cross your legs like that. But I was also seeing some sort of being arrested. And I was seeing that with the chariot in reverse. So now if they're arrested, these could be bars that they're behind. And they're not sleeping well because they're not in their bed. Because the Nine of Swords is reversed. So they're not in their bed, but they're still not sleeping well. And their tower in reverse can mean like their foundations is crumbled and they're out of their tower and somebody else is moving in. Could be that. But it also looks like somebody was puking. You see how the tower's got stuff coming out of its mouth and its eyes? It's puking. He may have said something while he was intoxicated, or she may have said something while they were intoxicated, threw other people out and tried to blame other people or whatever. But in reality, they just kind of revealed themselves by being too drunk and puking, and they lost their crown. So that's one way reading it. That's kind of wild. Lots of reversals. This is like so many reversals. Okay, Three of Swords wanted to come out. Somebody's heartbroken. It didn't land on the table though, but that's what could have clarified the Hangman in reverse. Somebody's heartbroken. Somebody's been betrayed. I'm thinking it's the Emperor. The Emperor may have found out that he was in a third party and then got really drunk to try and forget about it and then maybe got in a fight. I don't want to look at him. Sometimes that creates conflict in the reading if you look at the cards. Because then you're like, oh, I want that one to come out, and then it comes out, and you're like, damn, I'm too good at manifesting. Okay, well, we got 3 cards. So it went 2 cards were released for 8 of Cups. 2 cards were released for the Emperor in reverse. And then 2 cards were released for the Chariot in reverse. So we had 3 doubles and then 1 triple for the Hangman. And I'm seeing a Page of Wands clarified by the 3 of Cups and the King of Wands. It looks like somebody's going to have competition. If you look at this, it's like the page is offering his little wand. This could be a young person that wants to rise up in the ranks. Coming up to a third party, this could be 3 women that are celebrating at a pub or bar or something, right? They're drinking. And then this king is observing it and watching it. And he doesn't have to get up from his throne, like he's just watching it. So this might be somebody that owns the club or owns the bar. And they see 3 women celebrating, which they could be celebrating about the Emperor in reverse and finding out that he was cheating. Something like that. Or because the Hangman's in reverse. So somebody was too drunk. Somebody was trying to dance. I said the river dance earlier. They might get arrested. This could be the Page of Wands. Like now that the Emperor is in reverse, he has to go down to a Page But now he has to compete as well with these kings. Something like that. Three of Cups. This is a celebration sometimes, like victory celebration. But in the context of the read, I'm seeing that this Page of Wands is really just focused on getting his wand off, and he sees three women. Now this could be three men. Reverse doesn't need to, but he sees three people that are attractive. Let's say drinking, and he wants to maybe have all of them. Maybe he becomes so bold because he was drunk with the Hangman in reverse that he thinks he's a king, so he goes up, but he's still just a page, and then it doesn't work out in his favor. So this person that put you, okay, we'll put it back to the original order. The person that cast a negative judgment on you wanted you to be outcasted and left out. We're just doing a recap. So you were in the Eight of Swords. That's the position that you were given. And this wasn't of your own fruition and your own will. This was because a negative judgment was cast upon you. So now you had your arms tied and bound and your eyes were shut. You could still speak. So maybe you're able to speak your truth. And you could use like prayer still. And you moved by faith. And you moved forward. You went from the Eight of Swords into the Eight of Cups, which is a little bit more free, but still not emotionally satisfied. So you had to move forward, and you had to leave some stuff behind that maybe you had emotional attachments to. But then you just worked hard, got to the Eight of Pentacles, and mastered some craft of yours or developed new skills which increased your position internally and made you a Queen of Pentacles internally. So your feminine side was valuable. You could love yourself more. You recognize the value within your own self. And from that position, the Emperor saw this and it put him on his head, because this person that was usually making all the judgment calls is now up to the will and whims of the moon, because the moon saw you in the Eight of Cups go by faith. And the universe really likes a brave person, a courageous person, an upright and honest person to the best of their ability without injuring themselves or others. And you moved forward. And the moon saw that. The moon wasn't happy that you had to go through that, because the moon is there with you during the process. But the emperor doesn't have any sun or moon watching him. He thinks that he's the center. And it kind of is when he's in the upright, but in the reverse, that's all he's self-inflated. But the moon was kind of angry, and the wolves were howling. They're hungry. There's people out there that were hungry for this man's position, or woman, and they'd be ready to snap at him. And I'm seeing that because of the moon casting its judgment in nature and the cycles of the earth and God, he now has to, and you see, that's like a condom. Maybe he was all in his head. The condom on his head. He was all in his head. Too much blood was going here, not enough going down there. And he was juggling some situations. I'm seeing infinity. Time and time again, he kept doing the same thing. But now he's a clown. He's seen as the jester. He's the one that goes and entertains the kings. And then with the Chariot in reverse, there's a lack of movement forward in a department. It could be lack of movement in the bed, which has caused a tower. Maybe because the relationship that he was in failed, he then drank alcohol and didn't stay in a hangman and actually gain higher knowledge. He just thought that he was getting higher knowledge because he was getting higher. He was getting higher and higher and higher and thinking that he'd be wiser for it. But he was a page. He approached multiple women as a page thinking that he was a king. Or he approached multiple women that already had a king. That's what I'm seeing for the reading. Kind of weird. But what I'm seeing and for the collective sense is that you want to just keep working, focus on being in your own lane and being close with spirit. So you went from Eight of Swords to Eight of Cups to Eight of Pentacles, and now you're at the Queen of Pentacles internally. So all you need to do is just receive at this point and just wait. There might be slight delay, a disruption that you're going to notice, but I don't think it's going to be too drastic for you. This might be just the reversals now of all the energies that were coming at you. Yeah, animal cards. We got it, Ziggy. You got it. So how are we going to stay? What animals and crystals are empowering us at this time to remain focused towards our internal wealth and value? What animals can we focus on during this time, and crystals during this disruption and potential delay? What knowledge can we glean from these animals? Hey guys, we've been to an hour in this reading. I thought this was going to be even quicker than an hour, but we made it to an hour, so welcome. Local time is 10:01 p.m. and the date is the 29th of January, 2023. We are going to split the deck, and then we're going to split those decks. And then we're going to pick not the top card, not the second, but the third. Okay. And I'm actually going to put this deck back. I only want 3. Okay. So 1, 2, and then 3. I've gotten that one before. It is what it is. 1, 2. Doesn't make it any less valuable when you see a card multiple times. Just might mean something needs to... Oh, I looked at 2 of them. Oh, so we got 2 birds. One of my favorite animals. This is one of the animals that you see locally around my area all the time. So raven. They're hardy creatures, very hardy. So you've braved the winter. You've braved the winter in the coldest place in the world. That's what the raven does. It stays all year round in some of the coldest climate that can be found on Earth. That's habitable. I don't think you see ravens in Antarctica or, yeah, you don't see them at the North Pole too much, but you see them here in the North, in the Yukon Territory and the Northwest Territories. So, broad-winged katydid. It says discover the pattern. So as you are in your delay, if you are in a delay, or if there's been a disruption, you are reminded to focus on the nature cycles. The moon is there, ever present. It's a full moon in that picture. It says discover the pattern. So what is the pattern that you're recognizing in the world around you, in your own fingerprints, on the trees, the animals, the moon cycles? What is the pattern? Discover the pattern. Are you getting specific delays at certain times of the moon cycles? Are you getting disruptions based on the moon cycle? Or do you think you're being disrupted, or is it actually just a time of pause for you to do some internal reflection? So discover the pattern is encouraging you to look more intently at the world around you and discover the sequences, the numbers, the patterns, the similarities. And I'll pull from the book because I haven't read that one yet. I've read the book once and entirely, but that one I don't remember 100%. 63, I had it there. Discover the pattern, the broad-winged katydid. Also, its Latin name is Microcentrum robifolium. Like his cousin cricket, katydid has 5 eyes. He fixes them on life's intricacies, noticing details often missed by those of us with dual vision. From his perch atop the oak tree, he takes in the glow of the moon, the shadow of the tree limb, the stars burning holes in the night sky. These compounding images come together, coalescing into one, showing the slow evolution of the world as it changes. Details create patterns, patterns create rhythm. Katydid knows what's to come because he understands the design of what has been. When Katydid appears, look to the details so you can begin to feel the rhythm and predict the future through the patterns of the present. Very cool. So finding the rhythm through the patterns that you see. You might think that you're in a delay, but what's actually happening is you just might have played your part in the song already, and now you just wait for your next part to play. And that brings us into Know Your Song. So that's very fitting. I was almost upset about having this card for some reason. Maybe it's because it was so familiar. But it says Know Your Song. So now, as you've discovered the patterns around you, you become to know your part that you play in the greater song that is. Now, the story with the house finches, it was a wealthy man that wanted to make even more money. So he bought these birds and thought he could sell them. But what he found out was the parrot was a much better house bird and caged animal, and he didn't make any money. So he had to release all these birds. And what you can see is that the bondage that people have placed around you with their expectations of what you should and shouldn't be good at and trying to make money on you, you're now releasing your weight, your bonds, your bondage. You're flying out of the cage. But you're going to know your role and position. You've actually broken the cage. Like what people have tried to put you in, you broke right through it. Wherever they try and lock you up, you're going to break right through it. So know your song. And then the last card is the Common Raven. Now this says, align your inner compass. Align your inner compass. The raven's a really cool animal. It looks completely black. When you see a raven, it looks completely black. But they actually have a lot of purple. They have shades of purple, and they're so shiny that they can look white. When the light hits them on a right angle, they're so shiny, and you can see that in the picture there. Ooh, it kind of looks white, right? But to others, maybe others thought you were just this like black bird that was just a common bird, but in reality, it's just when the light hits you just right. That's when you really shine. When the light is placed on you in a good light, you shine. When the light is put on you in a negative light, then you are just a black bird. That's what I'm getting intuitively before I read it. 27. It says, align your inner compass, the common raven. Deep in Raven's heart is an ancient secret, a memory, tattered as his feathers, after harrying hawks. Yeah, ravens will mess around with other birds. They're pretty funny. And they make a really cool sound. Ravens can imitate. You can teach a raven to talk. If you really want to, you can teach a raven how to speak. Few alive remember that Raven used to be as white as a freshly fallen snow. Having himself been through the subtle shifting of transformation and rebirth, Raven knows that the world is often not quite what it seems, and that could be the same with what people were saying about you with the negative judgment. Because what they saw wasn't matching up with what people were saying, too. That could have been tripping people out. In the blink of an eye, light becomes shadow, and shadow shifts to light. And so Raven is not one for rules or morality. Raven knows that sometimes the only way to course correct is to step out of the boxes culture creates. So step out of the box, break your cage, break your cage, and create, and instead align with your inner compass. So break out of those, the norms that culture has set for you, and just make your own way. Align with your inner compass. What's the highest good? It asks. asked the winged trickster, and what are you willing to sacrifice to bring it to light? So what are you letting go? And its Latin name is Corvus Corax, if that means anything to you. This is the art in large scale. Quite a big bird. It's a very big bird, actually. And I go, wah, wah. They make weird, like, clicking. They click while they, like, groan. Wah. It's a crazy. If you haven't heard a raven, try and look up raven sounds on YouTube. It is insane. That is the animals for this time. And now we're going to pull 3 matching crystallary cards from the same author for each of these. Okay, but these are going to be more shuffled and random. We're going to see if they just fly out. I could do the 3-3-3 thing again, but we're going to see if they fly out. I shouldn't look at it. How's the audio sound, everybody? Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing. Currently, we have more likes than we do viewers watching, so that's cool. That's a good ratio. There's like 6 likes. It's amazing. Okay, first one. It's green, just like this one. Okay. Oh. Okay, beautiful. That's fitting. These are good. These are good. We're almost there. Well, they don't call them flocks of raven. They call them murders, don't they? Do they call them flocks of ravens? I thought, well, they call crows murders. Are ravens called? I don't even know. I'd call them packs. I'd call them gangstas. Ravens are crazy. They go into people's trucks and they rip apart the garbage and trying to steal food from their trucks. I fed a raven. It landed on my rear view, on my like passenger or driver's side rear view mirror. I was feeding him from my hand, and he was like chilling with me. I got a really cool picture of it, real close up. What is the last card here for Raven? Last card for Raven. Come on. Oh, there it is. It's the dragon. We had a bunch of others, but... Okay, here we go. Ready or not, here I come. That's what I like to say when I'm in bed. Ready or not, here I come. Oh, pardon me, pardon me. Whew. It got kind of warm in this room there. Whew. Whew. I'm just gonna cool down for a second. All right, it says, I love somebody left after I said that. That's hilarious. They can't handle it. They can't handle the Ready or not. Oh my goodness, Brian, I'm laughing and smiling too much from that. It says discover the pattern with the broad-winged katydid. The second card on top of that is so much life in you. So what I'm seeing is that as you settle into the rhythms of nature and your body, and you start to feel more and more by actually calming yourself and taking a step back and not trying to push and do movement forward, what I'm seeing is that you're going to notice how much life is going on inside of you and how that is a reflection of the life around you. But the life inside of you is just going to start to increase, like the life energy, your life force, just by taking a step back and looking at the patterns that are happening and how you are contributing to the rhythm. Okay? And then you're finding your rhythm. So much life in you. Maybe you have such a very big song. You might have a very big song. Maybe your vibration is, you could be one of those people that walks in the room and then everybody looks at you. And you're like, why is everybody staring at me? You're making me feel uncomfortable. Do I need to write an incident report? Stop looking at me. I remember when I was a little kid, I was very cute. I'm not trying to be like better than all the other kids in the world. But when I was a kid, I was very cute. But I didn't know how to handle the pressures of being so cute. And I'd be in the lineup for the grocery place, and people would look at me, and I'd be like, "Stop looking at me," because I was tired of people just like treating me like a cute little kid. I was already 60 years old in spirit. So know your song is clarified by. Oh, I forgot to say the first one is peridot. So if you don't have that crystal, you might want to get it. Peridot. It's a green. It's not quite emerald, but it's peridot. Now the second one is ruby. This is more common. You can find these in rings often. You only more so. And this talks about how if you have ruby with you, it accentuates the positive and the negative. So if you're in a negative mindset and you're wearing ruby, it can increase it. But it also says if you're positive, it can increase that. So what I'm seeing how that correlates with know your song and being the house finch, when you are in a positive light or in a good environment, then your song is positive. But if you're in a negative environment, negative space, all the songs that you're going to sing are going to be negative. It's going to be the art and songs that come out of you may be a representation of your environment that you're in. Okay? So just pay attention. Look at those patterns that are going on. Find that rhythm. And then do you want to play a part in that song or do you need to go find another environment? That's what the finch did. The house finch wasn't meant for the house. This house finch wasn't meant for the cage, right? And the crow talks about what is morality? How do you get to that top place? So it says align with your inner compass. It doesn't mean you got to follow all the same roads that everybody else took. You just got to listen to your intuition. You got to ask yourself the questions, not other people. And then from there, you're going to get the answers, maybe from a raven. Sometimes ravens will talk to you. And then the card that clarifies raven is clear quartz. The only thing, so this dragon is the big representation, but there's also an arrow, and that arrow is the quartz. And there's a bow that's going to launch that arrow. So what I'm seeing is you're ready to set forth towards a target. But you need to align your compass. You need to align with your compass. Because once you let go of that bow, you're gone. You're not going to be where you were. You're going to be way over there. So wherever you're aiming is going to be where you're launching to. So you're going to want to look at the patterns in the world around you, get a good lay of the land, observe the space that you're in and around you in the universe, then figure out what your song is, how your sound, your song, what you do, what makes you tick, what makes you feel valuable, and then align with it, and then you're going to be launching into a clear trajectory. With that clear quartz, it's clear. Your path is clear. Once you've set your compass towards it, your path is going to be clear. Okay? But that's after some sort of disruption or halt. If you go back to the beginning of the reading with the rune, their delays are there for a reason. And delays are there for a season. A reason and a season. It'll only last for so long. It won't be there forever. If you think your life is gonna, oh, I'm gonna be 9 years old and have to depend on my mother and have her cook me food I don't really like, but if I say I don't like it, she stops cooking me food. You're never gonna be there all the time. You're not gonna be at the, oh, I'm a teenager and I got back knee or pimples on my face and I don't like it, but I'm learning lots every day and I'm really, really horny. You're not going to be there all the time. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm in my 20s and I don't really know what I'm doing with my life. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I really don't have any clue. I'm just pretending. And you'll be in your 30s and you'll be like, man, oh, wait, why am I 30? I feel like I'm starting to become an old person. What the heck? I didn't do this. I didn't do that. My parents told me I'm supposed to have this by then. And you're like, whatever. And then you move on. And you're 80 years old and you're like, why the heck am I not dead? Get me out of here. I'm tired of being 80. I've seen all this world has to offer. And then you're like 90 years old and you're like, damn it, I wish I was 11 again. I'm tired of people treating me like a geriatric. I just want to be fed. I just want my mom to cook for me. It goes a full circle. You'll just want to be back in your mom's womb. Like, it's warm there. I don't have any joint problems. I get fed when I need to be fed. I get water when I need water. And nobody talks to me except for my mom. And when they do talk to me, it's really weird and uncomfortable because they shouldn't be talking to somebody's stomach. The womb is one of the most comfortable places when it's a good, healthy relationship and gestation period. That's a mouthful. Okay, well, let's pull a rune for closing. It's been one heck of a journey with you guys today. Hour and 20 minutes in, we're pulling our second rune. This is our closing rune. I'm just shuffling. Oh, haven't seen that one yet. What is this? Looks kind of like a house, like a top of a house or something. Did I pull it up right? It's called separation. Wow. So the first one was disruption, the second one's separation. Some sort of disconnect here. What is separation? 98. And then I'm gonna go to bed. Sweet dreams, everybody. Okay. Separation. It's spelled Othila. Othila. This is a time of separating paths. Old skins must be shed. Outmoded relationships discarded. When you receive this rune, a peeling away is called for. Part of this cycle of initiation. Othila is a rune of radical severance. And both of these are part of the cycle of initiation, so that's powerful. It means something. The appropriate action here is submission and quite possibly retreat. And we saw that with the Eight of Cups card. Knowing how and when to retreat and possessing the firmness of will to carry it out. Real property is associated with Othila, for it is the rune of acquisition and benefits. However, the benefits you receive, the inheritance, may be derived from something you must give up. This can be particularly demanding when what you are called upon to abandon is some aspect of your behavior, a part of your cultural inheritance. So like with those Eight of Cups, you had to leave behind cups, some sort of thing that you had attachment to emotionally. For then you must look closely at what, until now, you have proudly claimed as your birthright, whether it is your attachment to your position in society, to the work you do, or even to your beliefs about your own nature. The separation called for will free you to become more truly who you are. Well, it doesn't look so bad. Sometimes you just gotta say goodbye. And then say hello. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. I'm gonna close out with a little soft music. Some healing vibrations. I'm not gonna sing though. The lyrics to that song go, I'm giving up this whole lie, this old me. I call it out like a family. Giving up this whole lie, this whole... I'm just gonna look it up just so I don't mess up because they're powerful lyrics. It's called Resolution by Matt Corby. I'm giving up this whole lie, this whole me. Call it out like a family. Instead I time, which is kind of like the delays, and I get a ride until the rubber leaves the road. You said don't lie, so I made the truth, which makes me think of the raven. Seemed like a lie to even you. Control your fear. It's clear that you do not know where you're going to. So don't you worry. You will be my resolution. Characters of no illusion. You'll be my resolution. 1 month down, and it's in sight. Oh, I'm guaranteed to lose my mind. It's dangerous to speak and sigh. You might know what I'm trying to hide. So from the cradle to quarter age. Oh, I bought the book, but I didn't flip the page. Readiness is near, and we steer as far away from the coming of days. So don't you worry, you'll be my resolution. Characters of no illusion, you'll be my resolution. Turn around, put it down, and see that this is really the place to be. I'm not you, nor you me, but we're both moving steady. Very nice song. Hope you like the lyrics to that because I love singing it and I love playing it. Just a quick recap of everybody that's made it to the comments. We like to do this every once in a while. Gives back to the fans and those that actually commented. Willie knows. He always knows something. He comes in 3 years ago. Narcissist. Yeah, I'm not gonna read every comment. We got Ham in here saying hi. Mona Love in the house. Hey everyone, always thinking about everyone. And then Ham again. We got Ziggy Stardust. Probably just came into the reading when I was talking about that drunk Hangman in reverse. And then we had Ham again quite a bit, who wanted to know about some sort of stolen pistol, ancient pistol. And this person is in Chino Valley, Arizona. I still don't know where your stolen pistol is, so I'm unable to help you with that. Willie Knows says God, Spirit, and Ancestors handling it all. Really cool. Sounds like Ziggy Stardust had a crazy day and said, I almost hit a zombie in the middle of the road, which is kind of funny. And then Willie Knows was laughing at something I said. I don't know what I said, but he was laughing. And then Ham, not looking forward to that. Don't know why. And then Ziggy, yep, Ziggy Stardust up in the house quite a bit. And then Willie Knows. Everything good inside. Guitar still? Sounds like it. Last night hit the target. I don't know if did I do a share yesterday or last night and it was like really good, I guess. I did a reading last night. May have been benefit. It wasn't like a really positive reading, but maybe it resonated with a couple of you. But yeah, thanks for watching. We're closing out at 1:30, 1 hour and 30 minutes and counting. And the local time is 10:31. And again, the date is January 29th, 2023. Much love, everybody. Don't forget to breathe. Take it easy. Don't you worry. Be happy. And find your song, find your rhythm. Get along, everyone. Stop fighting each other. But, I don't know, sometimes you need to fight, I guess. You gotta fight. There's a song that goes like, you gotta fight for your right to party. Alright, good night, everybody.